ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरोर्वैष्णवांश श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिका कान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते। तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरि वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं
नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं
देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवति उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय
कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले
ते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी नित्य नामिने। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम
राम राम हरे हरे।
हरे कृष्णा माता जी धन्यवाद।
हरे कृष्णा. So, all are ready to enjoy Deepavali festival tomorrow? All are ready to enjoy Deepavali festival tomorrow?
Yes, Mataji. Happy advance Diwali, Mataji.
What?
Happy advance Diwali, Mataji.
Thank you. Tomorrow you can wish me, no problem. So,
Mataji, tomorrow is Narakasura Jayanti, Mataji.
Okay. So you know the story why Deepavali has come, no? I should have.
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, very good. That's nice.
Mataji, tomorrow is Naraka Chaturdashi, no, Mataji?
Yes, Naraka Chaturdashi. So that's also because of Krishna only. He killed Narakasura. That is where he got 108 ladies, 100 beautiful women arrested in his place. And so as he released them, Krishna married those 100 people. Because otherwise, because they are under him for so many years, nobody would marry them. So they are all, so Krishna married them. That's why he had 108 wives. 8 are the ladies whom they loved Krishna and married. And these 100 also Krishna had to marry because he relieved them, he got them released from Narakasura. And also, the moment they looked at Krishna, they said, yes, this is our dream person whom we are dreaming to get married. So this is the person we want to marry him. Even though they were under Narakasura, they never accepted Narakasura. They rejected Narakasura. And Narakasura, Krishna is such a tactful person. Whatever, like these people try to cheat Krishna, lot of devotees, why I am calling them devotees, I should not call them. They do bhakti, but not on Krishna. They do on some other demigods, having interest to, their interest is not to get the love of Krishna. Their interest is to win over Krishna. So they don't go to Krishna, they go to others. So this Narakasura got a boon saying that he should not be killed by, because normally they ask is, we should never be killed. But that no demigod can permit, because a demigod itself, life is temporary. Anybody can give others what they have, what they don't have, they cannot give. These demigods themselves are not permanent, so they cannot give a permanent life to anybody. So they say, okay, some condition. So he said, I should be killed by mother only, because a mother never kills the child. So that is how the Bhumata came as Satyabhama, and then that is the reason why Satyabhama had to kill Krishna. It is not that Krishna could not kill Narakasura, because he has got such a boon. Krishna manipulated that way, because he is a very intelligent man. Okay, right. So that is Deepavali. So I'm just very happy to share one thing. Last week, Jitesh came to Hyderabad to meet me. Now he is going back in train to his place. Last 3-4 days he was in Hyderabad, and we had a very nice time. He was here. I really felt very happy, because what made me so happy is that our association has become so strong that we all want to meet each other. See, it is not that listening in the video and then forgetting each other. We became so close. I feel all of you as my grandchildren, and so feel like what else does anybody wants rather than somebody coming and visiting her, just as with love. So that love Jitesh has given me. Last week Jitesh was in Hyderabad. We had very beautiful time last week, and Jitesh presented me this small beautiful Krishna. This Jitesh presented me. This Krishna is as beautiful as all of you, and so I felt I didn't want to say this, but somehow I wanted to share my happiness. I'm so happy that I feel I want to share it with all of you. So I'm just sharing. Okay, right. Now coming back to our, thank you, Jitesh. I want you to continue this Krishna consciousness, and the love on me is not important. The love should be on Lord Krishna, because he is the ultimate. He is the one who is blessing us with all this. So we should be very, very, very grateful to Krishna. Okay, Hare Krishna. So now coming back to our class, now we have finished 9 chapters and we have come to 10th chapter. 10th chapter is called the opulence of the absolute. We know opulence means the greatness of the absolute Lord Krishna. So this is what we are going to, what greatness has he got, we are going to discuss now. So in the first 6 chapters we know is Karma Yoga, where Krishna has discussed about the karma, what he talked about the soul, about our life, about our death and all these things. And at the end of 6th chapter he concluded that more than everything or any type of yoga, the best one is only devotional service. That is what is very important. That is what is very important. So he concluded that Bhakti Yoga is the greatest. So from 6th to 12th chapters, the middle section of Bhagavad Gita, in the middle section, he is talking about Bhakti Yoga, various types of Bhakti Yoga. In 7th chapter, we have been discussing about Bhakti Yoga, 6th also, from 7th chapter, which is the essence of Bhagavad Gita. Why Bhagavad Gita is told is to understand that Lord, he is the supreme and we work only under his control, and everything happens because of our thoughts. So and out of the middle 6 chapters, the middle is 9th and 10th chapters are the essence of the essence. So in the 8th chapter, Krishna was saying that Bhakti Yoga is the highest yoga, and the person practicing Bhakti Yoga will not be deprived of practicing any other basic process. Like that is, we think by doing that penance we might get punyam, by doing this another kind of puja we might get the blessings of a demigod or Krishna. But Krishna says only Bhakti Yoga, just do Bhakti Yoga, surrender yourselves to Krishna, that itself is enough. So Bhakti Yoga surpasses all the Vedic processes. Okay. So in the second chapter, actually in the second chapter, Krishna explained about the soul. And second to sixth, which is, that is Gruhyam. Guhyam means secret, knowledge. Guhyam means knowledge. So in the first 6 chapters, he explained about the knowledge. And in 7th and 8th, he talked about Bhakti, which is confidential knowledge. That is Guhyataram. Guhyam, Guhyataram. And in this 9th chapter, he talked about Guhyatamam, that is the most confidential knowledge. As we know, the previous chapter's name is the most confidential knowledge. Now, and there in the 9th chapter, he talked about just Bhakti, nothing else but Bhakti. That is the 9th chapter. So, and there he talked about the Aishwaryas of Krishna, that is the greatness of Krishna, and about the supreme excellence of a pure devotee. And in the 9th chapter, so we completed 9th chapter. Can somebody tell me with which sloka 9th chapter was concluded? The most important sloka. Can somebody tell me with which chapter or sloka the 9th chapter was concluded? Manmana Bhava.
Manmana Bhava.
Yeah. Manmana Bhava Madbhakto Madhyajinam Namaskuru. So that's where he concluded. That means he says, offer your obeisances to me, that you will come to me. Krishna instructed to fix our mind on him. He says, just put your mind on me and then offer your obeisances. And in the 10th chapter, which we are just now starting, he will teach us how to do that. Just saying do it is not enough. Somebody has to teach us how to do it. So here again, from the beginning, he is telling only that, but he is emphasizing and giving more and more, because surrendering onto him is not that easy. It is simply saying that is one word, but which looks very easy, but that is not that easy. So we should have concentration of mind, control of mind. How to get that? Slowly Krishna is teaching us. So here he described about various opulences of himself and how we are knowing which, because if we want to, many times, as I've told you, if we develop admiration on somebody just because we think they are very great, they are doing something which we cannot do, or they are doing something which others cannot do. When we have such kind of a feeling only, we develop admiration on them. So Krishna is now telling that his greatness, that means we all know that whatever Krishna can do, none of us can forget about doing. We can't even imagine that such a thing can ever be done. If we really understand that, we can very easily fix our mind on him. Why do we all admire the cinema heroes when they do all kind of fighting and jumping from the hill and doing rash driving and all those things? What we think, they are the things which we cannot do in our life normally. So we feel they are very great, but in reality, what they are doing is all drama. But in reality, whatever we see Krishna doing, he doesn't have a dummy, or duplicate, something they call that word, a temporary person who looks like them and does. He really does. So when we know the greatness of him, we will automatically develop love on him. In the first 7 slokas, how Krishna is the source and origin of everything is told. So if we understand that everything around us is coming from Krishna only, he is the source, and it starts from here, we will develop love on him. And next 4 slokas are the most important sloka of Bhagavad Gita. It describes how Krishna is the source of all the material and spiritual worlds. And also Krishna gives intelligence to his devotees to come back to him. Okay, here our aspiration is for bhakti, which comes from Krishna. Even that bhakti comes from Krishna only. Krishna only gives us that bhakti. When does he give? Why he gives to some people and why he does not give to some people is very simple. What does Krishna give? We all always talk about it. Krishna gives us something what we really wholeheartedly desire and work for. Just desire, sitting here and thinking, I have to come in first class, my rank should be first in the school, we will not get it. Only when we work hard, we get it. Similarly, bhakti also, we should have the desire to develop bhakti and we should work for it. When we have the desire, then Krishna gives the real bhakti. And in the third section of this chapter, 12 to 18, Krishna shares his heartfelt realization. Arjuna shares his heartfelt realizations as he heard a lot about Krishna. Actually, the previous 4 slokas which he said are very important. Some acharyas call them as that they are the total, whatever we are learning in 700 slokas of Bhagavad Gita, they are told in those 4 slokas. That is, they are called as Chatur Slokena Bhagavad Gita. That means the total Bhagavad Gita told in 4 slokas. The slokas 8, 9, 10 and 11 of chapter 10. That means middle of middle. Okay. In the last section, Krishna shares about his opulences, about his greatness, the greatest in every different item. We think, oh, see, when we eat gulab jam, we think gulab jam is the best. When we eat some other paisam, we feel paisam is the best. And something else. So in every item, we feel something, we see some greatness. So Krishna says, in every item, the greatest one is me. So that way. So, and he also explained his sweetness. Okay, in that he explains his sweetness, right? So we'll start. Okay, we'll go now start the sloka by sloka. This is a very important chapter. Be attentive and let us learn this. We should have put. Okay. Yeah, this is the 10th chapter. This talks about the opulence of the absolute. So here we are going to learn about the greatness of Krishna. So this is the ninth chapter. We discussed about all this, the knowledge of bhakti, Krishna's relationship with the world, impersonalist and Visvarupa worshippers, and demigods. Okay, next. So in the 10th sloka, in the 10th chapter, these are the 4 sections. Krishna is the ultimate source, pure bhakti essence of Krishna, Krishna's supreme position, and the greatness of Krishna. So now we are coming to sloka 1. Okay, Vishnu Priya, yeah, read.
श्रीभगवानुवाच भूय एव महाबाहो शृणु मे परमं वचः यत्तेऽहं प्रीयमाणाय वक्ष्यामि हितकाम्यया. Translation. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "Listen again, O mighty armed Arjuna, because you are my dear friend. For your benefit, I shall speak to you further, giving knowledge that is better than what I have already explained."
Hare Krishna. So here again, Krishna is talking to Arjuna. Okay, throughout he is talking to Arjuna only. To us, indirectly to Arjuna. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "Listen again, O mighty armed Arjuna, because you are my dear friend." From the beginning, Krishna has been telling this, that Arjuna is his friend. So that is the reason why he has been explaining everything to Arjuna. Okay, So all of us also that friend is, and also because Arjuna has surrendered. So we also should get into that kind of a mood to listen to Krishna or to understand whatever Krishna is saying. Krishna normally doesn't tell us anything directly. Whatever because we are not that great as Arjuna and we are not that blessed as those great souls, whatever information we get, we should understand that that information is from Krishna and we should follow. And so Krishna is telling, you are my dear friend, for your benefit, I shall speak to you further. More, I have spoken to you enough. I'm going to tell you more. Giving knowledge that is better than what I have already explained. So in this chapter, Krishna is revealing the confidential knowledge as he is his friend. The more, here we have to be very clear why Krishna is telling more and more is, the more we hear about Krishna, the more one depends, the more we develop faith on Krishna, and so we develop bhakti on Krishna. Here, hearing plays a very important role in everything. How do we like something, dislike something, love something, hate something? How do we do? By hearing or seeing. So here bhakti. So how do we understand Krishna or his greatness? Anyway, we can't see. Okay, we can see all the great things that is happening to us is because of Krishna. But that also, how will we understand that it is because of Krishna? Only when we hear. Otherwise, we think all these are just happening on their own. But we have to understand one thing. Your free meeting will end in 10 minutes, sir. What is this? Hey Krishna, I don't know why it is saying your free meeting. If suppose this gets closed, I will restart again. All of you join again. Because this is mine. Ours is not.
Okay, Mataji.
No, ours is not paid this thing. I don't know why that message has come. I'll again put a new link and in the group, and please join in that. Okay. So here, the more one hears about Krishna, the more one depends on Krishna. So how do we depend? It is not that we are going to do this once and then forget. We have to keep on hearing, because we have such a bad memory that that we can always forget it. Actually, a free meeting cannot be recorded also, but we are on recording now. Last time it stopped here. Oh, great. Is recording in progress? So it is very important that we hear about Krishna, because our memories, we see a lot of movies, we see a lot of incidents. Slowly, even people also, the only when we are in touch, we remember. If we are not in touch, we simply forget them. So that way, that way even about Krishna also. So once we might think, okay, I learned the 100 slokas, I know everything, let me leave it here. After some time we forget the 100 slokas. Bhagavad Gita, I heard it once, no, I understood Bhagavad Gita, and then leave it there. We forget Bhagavad Gita. So that way we should never stop hearing about Krishna. So we should always keep hearing. It should be a continuous process. So otherwise what happens is we are going to slip from bhakti. Okay, I'm going to slip from bhakti. Okay, I don't know, this is not giving me concentration. Oh, great. Okay, so we'll go to the next sloka. Next sloka. Rohan, will you read?
Yes, Mataji, I will read Mataji, teacher. Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. 10.2. Name Vidyu Gana Prabhavam Nam Maharsaya Aham Adirhi Devanam Maharshinam Cha Sarvasha. Translation: neither the hosts of demigods nor the great sages know my origin or opulences, for in every respect I am the source of the demigods and sages. Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Neither the hosts of demigod nor the great sages know my origin or opulences, for in every respect I am the source of the demigods and sages. So here Krishna is telling, because we all know that demigods are more, they have done more bhakti, nor even the sages, they are more knowledgeable. So even they don't know full all the opulences of Krishna, because we are all living beings. We will not have so much of mind. See, can we understand all the technology that is available in this material world? That we cannot understand. So how can we understand the person who is the reason for all this technology, which is impossible? So he is again and again saying, I am the source. To understand me, just it's impossible. Even whatever you feel, you have understood me. As a bhakta, we understand little about Krishna, that he is the supreme personality, he is the source of everything, he is the cause of causes, everything we think we understood. But that what we think we understood is very, very little. Not he's telling even these demigods are bhaktas, they are all, what they understand is very little. Here why he has taken the example of demigods and sages, because demigods are very powerful and so sages are very knowledgeable. Instead of having so much of power and knowledge also, it is not possible. So Krishna says one cannot understand him with power and knowledge. They are not having power and knowledge is not the prerequisite to understand Krishna. What is the prerequisite? Only the prerequisite is we need Krishna's mercy to understand him. Only if Krishna gives the mercy, then we will understand Krishna. So he will reveal himself. So only if Krishna reveals himself, we can understand Krishna. Just because we read Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, all scriptures, we will only get the theoretical knowledge. But to really understand, get the real meaning on that, we require Krishna's mercy. This is what is told in Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. That's what Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam says, that we can only understand little, and that little also we can understand only with the mercy of Krishna. That if he allows us to understand, we will understand, otherwise we won't understand. We can even sometimes understand what is Brahman, that is our soul, what is Paramatma, the God in us. To certain extent only we can understand, but we can never understand the supreme personality of the Paramatma. We can never understand he only, we cannot even bring him to this world. It's he who comes to this world and shows mercy on us. Okay, next, Sagana, will you read this?
Yes, Mataji. Yo mam ajam anadincha venti loka maheshwaram asamutta samartyeshu sarva papai pramuchyate. Translation: he who knows me as the unborn, as the beginningless, as the supreme lord of all the worlds, he only undiluted among men, he is freed from all sins. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. He who knows me as the unborn. So we all know him as the unborn. That means he is ajam. That means he has no, there he is using the ajam. That means he has no birth. He has no beginning. So when we have no beginning, we will have no end also. So he is the unborn. And so if we know him, we will be free from all the sins. So if we know him as the unborn, as the beginningless, he has no beginning, and as the supreme lord of all the worlds. He is not just we own a small house here and say we are great, but he is the lord of all the, not only this world, but the supreme lord of all the creations. He only undeluded among men, is freed from all sins. He is the only a person who understands him like that will be free from all the sins. Here he is using the word anadim. That means he has no origin, and he is the beginningless. Loka Maheswaram. That means controller. Loka Maheswaram. That he is the controller of all the creations. Asam Muda. That means not bewilders. That means Mudha means an unintelligent fellow. He says he will not be bewildered by all this. If we know the above three qualities, that he has no birth, no origin, no beginning, and he is the controller of everything, Krishna, then we will understand Krishna. Such a person will be relieved from all the sins. To know Krishna, we have to surrender to Krishna. That is what Arjuna did. So Krishna started revealing him. Similarly, we also have to start surrendering to him. Then only we will understand. The conditioned body changes the bodies, but Krishna is unborn. Because we are born, our body perishes. Because the mind also is born, we keep losing our memory. But because Krishna is unborn, he does not perish and he is there forever. So he knows everything. And we can never compare our lives with the lives of Krishna. And we should only understand what he is, that he is such a great personality and we stand nowhere before him. If someone says, I am God, I understand it is impossible, because the person who is